Kunal, first of all, congratulations on the success of the Empire. What's the response been like for you?
But the response has been amazing. It's been like nothing I've experienced before. Uh, Obviously, with Rang De Basanti and Aja Nachle and stuff, there was great response as well. But we live in a time of social media where all the responses that you get are pretty instant, and instantly you know whether people like it or don't like something. And the response that I've got on social media through messages, people calling, has been just absolutely overwhelming and pretty phenomenal. So it's great.
You've also talked about being able to relate to the character of Babur, especially the emotional vulnerability and the self-doubt that he faces. Can you elaborate on
Right.
that?
I think as actors or anybody that's in public life, you're constantly dependent on validation from other people. Also as an actor, you're really pretty much a helpless piece of the puzzle because you have to depend on somebody else to write a script, hopefully offer that script to you. Someone is going to direct that show or the movie. Someone might give music for it, which might be a hit or not a hit. The producer is going to release the film. So you're really a very sort of helpless piece of that puzzle. And then the film releases on Friday and audiences may not like it at all. So you may have worked for 2 years on something and the audiences might say that this is absolute rubbish, or they might not like what you've done. And so you always find yourself in a place which is, I think, vulnerable because you're looking for validation and you're dependent on other people. And I think that's what I found fascinating about this character as well, is that he is somebody who's the emperor and eventually becomes this big ruler, but he's always unsure about himself. He's always unsure about whether he deserves the kingdom or not, or whether he's just got lucky, or whether he's capable or not. And for me, that was something that I'd never seen before, and I found really fascinating.
I was speaking to Dino last week, and he mentioned that a lot of people from the industry have also reached out to him and, appreciated his performance. Have
Sure.
people from the industry reached out to you? And if so, what's the best compliment you've received from a colleague?
Well, I think lots of people have from the industry: directors, producers, actors, all of them. I think the best thing that you can hear as an actor is that is somebody telling you that you bought something that was completely new, and you bought out a part of a character that was something that they had not seen before, and they found that really fascinating. So I had a colleague that called and said that they found that really, really, really nice, that I could manage to do that. Is that a character that was strong but vulnerable at the same time. But somebody else called and said that they had watched the show 3 times in 4 days. And I think there cannot be a better compliment than that, for somebody to watch a show, repeatedly, investing 5 hours of your life into a show. I haven't watched it 3 times. But for someone to call and say they've watched it 3 times is, I think, is the best compliment you can get.
Kunal, I believe you started out in the family business. Then, you worked in the stock market for a while before eventually venturing into films. What made you want to become an actor?
I was actually sort of struggling with what I really wanted to do in life. I was in college and I had tried multiple things. Construction business. I was exporting mangoes to Hong Kong. I was, doing all kinds of stuff. I had worked in the stock market for a couple of years. And each time I did something, I just found that I didn't have my heart in it. And I felt like I wasn't enjoying it. And my father told me something really interesting then. He said that take your time, find something that you would do no matter, even if there was no money in that, just because you enjoy it. And coincidentally, I got a call from a friend of mine who was working for this ad agency. And she said, "Do you still have long hair?" I said, "Yes, I do." So she said, "Then come to the office, we're auditioning and we need somebody who has long hair." So I went in for this audition without knowing what it was all about and stuff. And I got the first ad. And I went on the set and I was like, this is where I want to be for the rest of my life, because this is so much fun. And I think I discovered it accidentally. But once I was there, I was like, I wouldn't be any other place. And this is, what I really enjoy and want to do for the rest of my life.
You've been in the industry for, I think, over a decade and a half now. How do you look back at your journey? Do you have any regrets?
Well, it's been interesting for sure. There's been ups and downs. And, I think I've pretty much gone through the whole cycle of success and failure that you can go through. I mean, when I was starting off, I had friends in the industry that said that don't become an actor because it's very difficult for outsiders. and have a plan B in place if you are becoming an actor. Then Rang De Vasanti happened, and those are, a bunch of Yash Raj films happened, and I was suddenly the next big thing. Then those films didn't work, and then I was finished. And now, I've reached a place where everyone's like, he's such an interesting actor, and we want to see more of him. So I think it's been an interesting journey. There's been ups and downs, but like I said, there's no other place that I'd rather be than be in the movies.
I was reading a recent interview of yours in which you talked about how the film industry, can really appreciate you as an actor when you're successful, but they sort of abandon you when you go through your low phases. Is that something, like you said, you've gone through ups and downs in your career as well? Is that something that you've also experienced firsthand?
Absolutely. I think, what I was saying was that we are it's called the film industry for a reason. I mean, it's called the business of cinema. And I think what you have to realize very, very soon is that for your own sanity is that this is a business. It's not, people don't like or dislike you. They like or dislike the fact whether you can make money or not for them. And, when you're successful, you can make money for people. So people will line up. And when you're not successful, you can't make money for them. So they won't line up. And I think it might sound like a very sort of cynical thing to say, but it's not cynical. It's the truth, and you have to sort of accept that, and you have to work with that. So, there was a time when films were working, and there was a lot of success, so people lined up. And there was a time when films weren't working, and the same people would not, offer you stuff. So I think that is something that you have to really understand, is that this is the business of cinema. And if you're looking for purity here, this is not the place to find it. This is the place where people make and lose money, and you have to sort of understand that and live with that.
You're also venturing into production very soon with a biopic. What triggered that decision?
Well, I've been wanting to produce for a long time. I think, like I was saying, as an actor, you're part of somebody else's vision. You can only do parts or be part of scripts that you're offered. And that filmmaking really is a director's vision, and, is the filmmaker's vision. But as a producer, you have a chance to put out your own vision out there, stories that you find important, stories that you find interesting. And for me, that is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, because I think the thing that I enjoy the most is stories. And I want to sort of tell those stories in every way possible, whether as an actor, whether as a producer, as a director, as a writer. I want to just put my stories out there and the things that I enjoy out there. So turning producer, I think, is a step in that direction.
Kunal, I'm going to ask you a bit of a personal question. You've been very low key about your marriage with Naina. Nobody really knows how you met. What was the beginning of the love story? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I think we met rather coincidentally, and when you talk about things that are meant to happen and they happen, I think ours would be a great story for that, because I was actually walking the ramp for a friend of mine. There was a show in Delhi, and I was leaving the hotel after the show, and it was some fashion week, so there were multiple shows going on at the same time, and I was waiting for my car, and my car was about to drive in, and another friend's car drove in, and his show was next. So he was like, "Where are you going? You got to stay back for my show." So I stayed back for his show, and that's where I met Naina. And a few seconds later, I mean, if he had come in a few seconds later and I had gotten into my car, we would have probably never met. So yeah, it was rather coincidental. And like I said, if you believe in things that are meant to happen, then this is pretty much the prime example of that.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.